7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is up? Man, oh man, I can't seem to shake the rain. This is absolute garbage weather to be riding in. But you know what? Sometimes we gotta do what we gotta do, get out there and ride. It is cold, it is wet, per usual. Probably raining a couple times a week, easy now. Not that nice warm rain, but it's that nice cool, brisk, get you wet and dampen, give you the sniffles type of rain. But there's a lot of new riders and you know, people that have a year or two under their belt, they kind of, and I've been in the same scenario, so don't get it twisted. This isn't bashing or whatever. We kind of get in a point where we get either overconfident or we're really nervous in riding in wet weather, especially when it is raining and coming down hard. I don't care how hard it's coming down. Once you kind of know and you've been riding in the rain a little while, you'll really know if it's a torrential downpour. You know, don't feel like you need to push the limits. Just pull off underneath a bridge, pull off somewhere, take it easy, wait for the rain to lighten up if you feel nervous or if it is a real big downpour. It is more hazardous, it is more dangerous. You only have 2 tires, a small contact patch. Braking is a lot less effective than in dry weather, but it's still very effective. We have very good tires. Technology in tires these days are absolutely phenomenal. So have faith in your tires. Have faith in yourself. If you are one that you do feel nervous out riding in the rain, you can always go to a parking lot and practice. Put up pylons, practice your stopping, practice your acceleration. Everything you do has to be smooth in wet, cold, rainy weather. So definitely have a lot of confidence in your tires. Don't worry about it. Smooth, accelerate smooth, roll off the throttle, brake progressively smooth, and then you can, you know, once you start to brake smooth, you can brake harder and harder and harder and harder and harder, right? It's just that instant. If you brake really hard, your bike with the wet, cold road, your bike doesn't have enough time for the suspension to compress, distribute that weight, your tire to compress, create a large contact patch, and really grip onto the road, especially in wet conditions. It just doesn't have time to do that, and that's when you're going to wash out your front end. That's when you're going to do a stupid low slide, you know, especially if you're braking around a corner and you hit your back brake too much, you can wash out your rear end. There's things you have to be careful about, so everything you do, slow and progressive. That's it. That's basically a long story short. Everything you do has to be slow and progressive. So I'm coming up here, I want to make this turn, put my blinker on nice and early, start to downshift, I'm in first gear, coming, brake, front and back. I'm not going to be able to make it, that's okay. I'm not going to push it to yellow light, I don't want to end up a statistic. But everything you do, nice and smooth. Especially from a dead stop, you have to be even more smooth. You don't want to be too aggressive. Going from a dead stop to a rolling turn in wet weather, just everything's nice and slow. If you're slow and smooth, man, this shit is like butter. Easy as pie. And just slowly let out the clutch as you're going around. And remember, you know, it is slick out, and it is, you know, just because they have 4 wheels doesn't mean they're going to not be able to slide. So everything you do, nice and smooth, calculated. Watch out for everything. Blinker, downshift, slowly front and back brake at the same time. Nice smooth stop. Off the clutch, slow, throttle, slow. Clutch is completely out. Another turn, blinker on, slowly clutch, downshift. Had a little chirp of the tire there, that's okay though. Just make sure everything you do is a calculated maneuver. You know, think about what you're doing ahead of time, think farther ahead. Don't worry about what's directly in front of you, think about what's coming up. You won't be shocked, you won't be surprised. You'll have time to roll off the throttle and brake. You can just use the front brake Like up here, I won't use the back brake at all. Coming up on this guy a little hard. I don't want to do that, but the ground is dry. So I'll just use the front brake here. Woo! So you can hit it pretty hard, and really be cautious of all these white and yellow lines. All these painted lines on the road, all the turn, the arrows, all that stuff is like ice. It is like ice in the rain. Like absolutely fucking slick as fuck. You definitely don't want to hit that leaned over. You're definitely going to set yourself up for a bad day. An unnecessarily bad day. So everything you do, just nice and smooth. Gear shifts smooth, braking smooth. If you have to, ride in one gear higher. That way you're not too torquey. You know, you don't need to ride in first and second just because that's the gear that technically you should be in. Hopefully I gave you guys more of a reminder, because this is all common sense stuff, so we think. Don't fucking do it, man. This is all common sense stuff. But sometimes after a few years of riding, we get cocky and we need a reminder. And as new riders or people that are just kind of doing research, you know, or nervous riders, you know, how do we do it? They want to get over it. Go to a parking lot, practice, get pylons, practice your braking. Braking is key in wet weather. It's more important than anything else. And smooth throttle control. So you guys have a good one. Take care. Be safe. Shiny side up. And smooth and steady. Smooth and steady. Peace, guys.